Hi there, my name is Dr. Phil Clarke and I'm the Sports Psychology Lead at the Derbyshire Institute of Sport, and I'm here to share with you 5 tips for looking after our mental health. So tip 1 is about physical activity. The more physical activity we do, the better our mental health. So when we engage in physical activity or exercise, our brain releases a chemical known as an endorphin. And those endorphins are what many people know as our happy chemicals, and has great implications in terms of how we manage stress, our levels of happiness, which is why we usually feel really good after a long walk or an exercise session. Even if we can engage in physical activity out in nature, research tells us that actually engaging in nature, being outside, fresh air, all of those factors play a massive impact in our feelings of happiness and our overall mental health. So tip number 2 is all about sleep. And whenever we don't get enough sleep, we're always a bit more emotional. We tend to be a little bit more reactive, and we don't tend to think as positively as we can do. So really important one is getting at least 8 hours of sleep a night. For some people that may be a little bit more, for some people it may be a little bit less. So when I talk about a little bit less, that's no more than or no less, should I say, than 7. Okay, so somewhere between the 7 and 9 hours is that golden nugget. And being consistently able to do that. We're not able to catch up on sleep at the weekend, which is a misconception for a lot of people. So try and get consistent with it and consistently get 7 to 9 hours sleep a night. So tip number 3 is all about screen time. Okay, so we spend a lot of time in today's society, whether that's through work or just through going through social media, in front of the screen. And that can mean that we waste an awful lot of time throughout our day just in a sedentary position and not really moving too much. But also from a social media side, we want to be really careful and be really mindful of how we use social media. And social media can have a lot of great benefits in terms of how we connect with people. There's also some real downsides to it if we find that or potentially some of the things that we're following triggers an emotion or a feeling in us that isn't really positive or helpful. It's about being mindful of what those are and trying to create a space on social media that's filled of positive things, and you actually come off with feeling motivated, inspired, or just through connecting with people. So yeah, be really considerate of screen time, but also how you use social media. So tip number 4 is all about gratitude and trying to find those things that we're grateful for. So even in difficult situations, you will always find things that you can be grateful for within your life, not just within the performance side, but this could be things like your family and where you live in terms of nature and anything at all. So an activity that I recommend engaging in over the next 7 days is what's known as 3 good things. So at the end of each day, try and pick 3 things over that day that you're really grateful for. So that could be an experience that triggered a positive response in you. It could be, like I was saying earlier, that the location that you live mean that you're actually able to get outside and be in nature quite easily. And over the next 7 days, I want you to pick 3 good things at the end of each day and try and pick something new each day. And by the end of the week, you'll find that you'll have 21 different things over that week period that you were grateful for. And it's just a nice activity that can be really powerful for our mental health. And finally, tip number 5 is all about social connection. As human beings, we are social creatures. So it is really important that even when we're feeling maybe a little bit down, that we still do connect with our friends and with our family. So I know in these new challenging times that we may find that we're at home a lot more. But it's still important that we engage socially with people. So that could be through online with our friends, whether that's online quizzes, type things, and just connecting with people, or even just organising to meet up in a park so we can still have our social distancing, but still ensure that we're able to connect with people.